This is going to be my review of the new Bruce Springsteen album, Letter to You. Just go back and forth here so you can see this is actually a video, and because my feelings about this record are very complicated right now, and I just think if I wrote it out, like not enough people would read it or whatever, and I just feel like I better talking about it out loud than anything else. But let's say I got the CD version here, and sorry about the glare. And I'm going to be talking about it though, like it's a record, like it's a side one and side two, because that's the way I sort of relating to it these days. But since I got it, it came out on a couple Fridays ago, and I didn't get it till Monday actually. But I've been listening to it in the car, back and forth from work all week, and I thought that if I listened to it all week, that my reaction to some of the songs might be different than they were when I first listened to them. But actually, I'm at now at the other side of things, and actually my thoughts about the record are pretty much the same as they were the first time I listened to it. So first of all, I want to say that, again, sorry about the glare, that there are three great tracks on here. And this is getting a lot of great reviews, by the way. And I've been a Bruce Springsteen fan since 1984, and I got real excited when the reviews for this started coming in because people were just really like praising this incredibly, and I like it. But like I said, there's three songs on here that I like better than the others, and they're all older songs. And Springsteen fans know what I'm talking about here. That some of these songs are on side one, as it would be on the vinyl. This is the CD. I didn't get the vinyl. There's a song, Janie Needs a Shooter, right in the middle of it. That's an older song. And then on side two, If I Was the Priest and Song for Orphans are two very old songs. I think those two might even go back as far as Springsteen's first audition for Columbia Records, like back in 1973. I think Janie Needs a Shooter is probably a little newer, but they're both pretty old songs, and they're ringers on this record. And I love Bruce Springsteen, and like I said, I've been listening to him since the mid '80s, and although and then subsequently his '70s work, like albums like Born to Run and Darkness on the Edge of Town, became my actual favorites, and the Springsteen that exists today is not the Springsteen of yore. His like those two '70s albums I mentioned are really the tops for me, and he's never really been that good since. Although I do still enjoy his music and his songwriting today, but putting these three older songs on here, I think really kind of overshadows a lot of the other new material here, making them and like some of them, but some of this new stuff, some of the newer songs on here are very much standard issue for Springsteen these days. If you've got like records like Human Touch and Working on a Dream, like those albums are not very well regarded among Springsteen's catalog, but I almost prefer those albums to this one because they're more consistent. They are Bruce at the time he made those records. Well, this one is really just him kind of all over the map in a way, and even though some of the new songs are good, and some of them have grown on me over the week, some of them really suffer in comparison to those three classic tracks. We'll just go over this as quickly as I can, starting with the first track, 1 Minute You're Here, which is on side one, is a sort of an acoustic song. It's very, very kind of mellow and not a lot of heavy drums on it, and it's a nice song. And it's a good song to start off with, because there's no other really slow songs like that in the rest of the record. So it might have even fit better at the end of the album than at the beginning. But then we get to Letter to You, which was the first single, also the title track of the album. And I remember that one, I enjoyed it the first time I heard it, but it did sort of make me kind of think twice because it did feel very much like something that would be an outtake on Human Touch or Working on a Dream. And Burnin' Train is a song, it's a good song. People really like that one because it's a rock and roll song. and it's hard charging. And this record is all performed by the E Street Band, his longtime band, and they did it apparently pre-COVID, over a 5-day period, and you can't fault the E Street Band on this at all. On all these tracks, they are at the top of their game, no doubt about it. The E Street Band as it exists today, anyways. And then we get to Janie Needs a Shooter, which is just absolutely transcendent stuff. Janie Needs a Shooter, and also these two songs on this side too, If I Was the Priest and Song for Orphans, are just Springsteen at his most epic and romantic, and they're just beautiful. Then unfortunately, that's also the odd thing, interesting thing about this album is that I think like the side two is actually stronger than side one. And I think that might account for why the album's getting such glowing reviews right now, because when people listen to it as a download or just as the CD altogether, all the really good, better, the side two is much better balanced than side one. And those two older songs on side two really give it the edge. So I think once you get to the end of the album, you kind of think like you've heard a better album than you actually have. So back to that, at the end of side one and the beginning of side two is probably Springsteen's weakest stretch of songs on a record in quite a long time. And again, set next to these older classic tunes, they really suffer in comparison. Especially Last Man Standing and The Power of Prayer are very, very generic, kind of modern Springsteen anthem-y songs. Very much sound like something you would heard on Human Touch or Working on a Dream. But those albums didn't have any songs as good as Janie Needs a Shooter, If I Was the Priest, and Song for Orphans on it. And so those are, and then on the beginning of side two, we have this song "House of a Thousand Guitars," which is almost embarrassing. It's so you gotta admire Springsteen for trying something a little different with that track, but that one, like I said, I know it's saying side two is better, and I'm slamming the first track, but that's just the way it shakes out. Then Rainmaker is next, and I know, I belong to a lot of like Bruce Springsteen fan groups on Facebook and stuff, and a lot of the longtime Bruce Springsteen fans actually, Rainmaker is one of their least favorite songs, and actually of the newer songs, it's one of my more favorite ones on here. So I know what that is, and it has stayed with me the whole time. I don't think I liked it the first time I listened to it, but that is one that has definitely grown on me the more I listen to it. And then we have this amazing stuff. And then we have If I Was the Priest and Song for Orphans, and smack dab in the middle, in between those two songs, is Ghosts, which is the second single, and is also one of the better of the newer songs on here. And just to have those three songs right in a row is like just like that. The ending of side one and the beginning of side two is a weak stretch. That's a really strong one, and also part of the reason why I think people are responding so positively to the record. And then we end with "I'll See You in My Dreams," and there is a very famous song by that title. Obviously, if my Beatles fans will know that song it's the last song performed at the concert for George. But that is not the same song. This is a new song with the same title, and it's very nice. And it's a very nice kind of like, it's not as good as, but it's very similar to older Springsteen songs like Bobby Jean or No Surrender. It's sort of a tribute to the E Street Band in that way, and that's a nice way to close out the record. So that's basically my take on my other Springsteen fan friends. Tell me what you think, whether you like the same songs I do or not, and so this is some new music from 2020 to keep us all. Keep me on track anyways. This is what keeps me going in these incredibly dark times we're living in, and so I just want to say peace and love to everybody, and get out and vote for Biden. Rock on, everybody.